Day Converted Man here. Oh yeah, I'm still on this. This bothered me. This irritated me because I knew I was right. I thought I was right. I was like very sure that I was right. And I had to look into it to make sure that I was. Because, if I'm wrong, I might owe somebody a lot of money and an apology. Because, hey, if I'm wrong, I'll admit to it. Unlike other people, creationists, So, if you saw the video I did, Bible United, and maybe you saw the quick follow up I had, because during that stream, I ranted, as I do, and I went off kilter and said, okay, I'm yelling at the guy and he's in chat. And then I stopped looking at chat, and I guess he thought that I was censoring him. I wasn't even paying attention to chat, so I don't know what he was saying. The only person that can moderate my chat that isn't me, um, is, I believe, Fish Head Salad. I could be wrong. He might not be able to moderate chat. I'm not sure. So nobody in my chat could have moderated him. And if Fish Head Salad had been in there, he wouldn't have done that. So, but at any rate, I might have just been that chat was on delay, and all of a sudden all his comments came up. I don't know, but I didn't see it until I was done and the stream was ended, right? So I thought the quick follow up that I did, that's enough. He didn't complete my challenge because he mentioned Hawkins, and I thought he was mentioning the book, but then he was like, well, no. There's the particular theory, the no boundary theory. Okay. Now, of course, he gave no citation to it. Now, fair enough. YouTube doesn't like links and will eat them. But I commented on his video. Now, and you can link usually in the comment section of your own videos, even though you can't post links on other comment sections. Now, sometimes YouTube will eat it, even when it's your own comment in your own comment section. So I understand it might be frustrating to try to post a link, but you could post the name of the paper, and you could also say, I found it on this thing, and you could reference where you think that it says what you think it says. But he didn't do any of that. And also, the point being made that I thought was pretty evident was, even when they say nothing, they never mean nothing. Like Lawrence Krauss, he said nothing, but he didn't mean nothing. Stephen Hawking says nothing on his book, but does he mean nothing? Well, I don't know. But on a technical level, if in the scientific peer-reviewed paper he says the word nothing, then don't I owe him some money and an apology? So check it out. Check what he said. Here's his video. He said Hawking himself said, well, I don't know where he said this, but Hawking himself said his no boundary theory says the universe came from nothing. You are the liar. You said no scientists say this. By coward. No, I said you're not going to find a peer-reviewed paper that says this. Maybe I said what you say I said, but you didn't timestamp where I said what you're saying I said, so I tend not to believe you. Maybe I did. I don't. I'm pretty sure, though, when it comes down to the challenge that I presented this guy was cite a peer-reviewed non-creationist paper where a scientist says the universe came from nothing. That's what I said. There might have been other things where you could, I don't know, but you'd have to cite, you'd have to give me the timestamp of where you're, show me what I said, where I said it, burden of proof and all that, right? Okay. But again, does Stephen Hawking say in his paper nothing? Maybe he said in interviews that that's what it means, but unless it's in the paper, it doesn't count for my challenge that you will not find this in peer-reviewed publications. Oh man, you know, sometimes I love being right. Now, maybe this isn't the peer-reviewed paper, but I'm sure that the Bible guy who's a creationist totally knows what scientific paper for sure, even though he didn't link it or anything like that. I'm positive that he can find the one that says the thing that he needs it to say, which would include the word nothing, even if nothing turns out to be something, which was really the point that I was trying to make. Let's see if this paper, because it is the no boundary measure of the universe. Now he says his no boundary theory. So is this that theory? Well, it's not called the no boundary theory. Is there a no boundary theory? Well, we'll get into that in a moment. But just, we can see Stephen Hawking, there he is, right? And if we search, we type in James, we see that James gets nice and highlighted there, you know. So what if we type in the word nothing? Well, nothing is highlighted. That is to say, there is no word nothing highlighted, because the word nothing doesn't appear in this paper. So, whoops. Now, could he mean a different paper? Because this is just a no boundary measure of the universe. Well, is this the only one? Are there other ones called this? Maybe this is the wrong one because it's got a different name. So could this be the wrong one? You know? Maybe. Yeah. Now, Hawkins has a few papers, a few, just 50 plus, with lots and lots of citations. And so if we look for boundary, we should be able to find boundary. State, okay, well, that's not it. That's that's boundary wave. Boundary, the no boundary measure. I was already looking at that. The classical universes of no boundary quantum state, the no boundary measure of the universe. Okay, so is this it? Oh, come on, man. Maybe this is it. No, that's what I was already looking at. Huh? That's the measure. Oh, okay. Is there another one that says boundary? That maybe volume weighing no boundary or proposal. Maybe that's it. Did inflation no, there's no. Okay. Boundary here, is that it? No. Well, how about nothing? How about we type in the word nothing, and surely in the abstracts that are here, the word nothing isn't highlighted at all. Huh. Well, okay, but so where does this idea come from? Well, the internet, just the internet will tell you, that he said this. Well, okay, Hawkins says universe nothing, and if you're a lazy person, which I can understand, you might say, hey internet, doesn't somebody somewhere say the universe came from nothing? There's a law like gravity. The universe can and will create itself from nothing in the manner described in chapter 6. Well, what's in chapter 6? That's his book, not a peer-reviewed paper like I'd asked for. So that doesn't count. Oh, well, here it says that there was nothing. Oh, okay, that doesn't say that the universe came from nothing. Well, here's Cora. Well, we can't use that. Wait, Stephen Hawking says that the universe can and will create itself from nothing. But is that a direct quote? No, that's coming from his book, so that's not a peer-reviewed paper. He said the universe not created by God, but that's not in his paper. So, it's almost like you can't find this if you're actually trying to find the real information and not just trying to win a silly offhand comment that it appears that you can't win because I am still right and you are still wrong. And you will always be wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because as long as I have faith, I will be right. And as long as you have, as long as I have faith, I said that wrong. You know what? As long as I have facts, I will always be right. And as long as you have faith, you will always be wrong. Man, I said the phrase wrong and I screwed it up. I was going to be such epic ponage. Oh well, you know what? It's fine. I don't care. Yes, he said lots of things about his paper. But unless he says it in the paper, it doesn't count. And it's funny because it's kind of a wild tangent anyways, because you're suggesting that science says this. And at best, you have two scientists, maybe, that said nothing, but both Lawrence Krauss and Stephen Hawking don't mean nothing by the word nothing. That's the point. If you see some article that says some scientist says the universe comes from nothing, you better dig in a little bit deeper to make sure that they mean nothing and not like quantum soup or whatever. And in every case that I know about, no scientist has ever meant nothing. Because nothing is not something we've ever observed, so I doubt very much that it is a scientific concept in the first place, and thus you could not write a peer-reviewed published paper and get away with it. And the even deeper point is biblical creationist United guy didn't provide any citations in his video, even a little, to anything that he says, and everything he says about atheists was wrong, and everything he says about science is also wrong, and everything that he thinks he knows about the Bible is also wrong. He didn't like being called out, and that's okay, but I'm just saying what's true. If you say something that's not true, and it's easily found that it isn't true, or this was a little bit of digging on my part, but he didn't do any of that. That's for damn sure. Hawking still didn't say the word nothing in the paper. So you're still wrong. And even if he did, that's not science. It's one guy. And you didn't say in your video Hawkins or Lawrence Krauss. And even if he did, people would be pointing out to you that's wrong. And I'm pretty sure people have said in your comments that no, you're wrong about nothing, because nobody really says that except for creationists. They're the ones that think the universe came from nothing because God wanted it to. But the rest of us don't think that way. So, no, there is no special treatment going on with the Bible. We're treating your Bible like we would any other fairy tale when we dismiss it. That's all. That's final. Okay. I busted him every which way and then some. And I actually linked the paper so in full, that you can read it in full without a paywall or anything. So, yeah. It's an interesting read, complicated as hell, but it doesn't say the word nothing in it. So I win. All right, that's it. Thanks for watching. All right, as long as you have faith, you will always be wrong. And as long as I have facts, I will always be right. There, I said it right for sure that time.